Thank you all so much for being here. I'm Lisa, the video content manager at Babylist.
And I'm Julie, a product expert for Babylist. Welcome to the Babylist Best of Babytech 2019 Awards.
Yay! Yes. To kick us off, I will tell you a little bit about Babylist. Babylist is the go-to solution for expecting families who are navigating the vast world of baby gear. It's a universal baby registry, it's supported by expert editorial content, a curated store, all in one. I really love my job, you guys. I work with a team that's there for families during a time that's really exciting and also really overwhelming. If you're not a parent, I can tell you, it's a trip. I mean, from experience, I can tell you this. And Babylist just gets it. Fun fact, we've actually talked to tens of thousands of parents, and of those, only 11% were like, yep, I feel prepared. Great.
I mean, I review products on the market all the time, and I still don't think I'm totally prepared for baby number 2 over here. But I will say that Babylist really holds your hand through the registering process, and they did with my first. You're able to register for any product you want, from any store you want. There are no limits. I signed up immediately. And you better believe with baby number 2, I'm going to create a whole new Babylist registry, because there's a slew of new products and innovations that are going to make my life easier this time around.
Yes, the baby space is changing so fast, and as it's transforming, Babylist is at the forefront. We have 1 in 3 families in the US creating a registry with us. 11 million page views are rolling in every month with parents looking for baby gear help.
Yes, and to blow your mind or baby brain even more, in 2018, over 1.5 million people will have spent over 200 million in gifts on the Babylist platform. Like, boo!
Right. One of the most popular gifts being given is Babytech. As you all know, the industry is booming. I mean, just in this last year, we had an 88% increase in the entries for this competition. So the competition's been stiff, but we're very excited to be here today to recognize the best of the very best.
Yes, and through these awards, we are spotlighting high-tech solutions for everyday parenting obstacles to help make parenting just a little bit easier. Everything from fertility to feeding your baby to really cool learning activities that help your child learn and grow.
So that's our spiel. Let's get started, shall we?
Okay, so first up, the Babytech Award in baby sleep and audience favorite goes to Miku. So if Miku could come up on the stage, come up here with us.
Come on up.
You get 2 awards here.
Yes, welcome. Stand on over here with us. We're going to brag about you. So picture this. You have a newborn baby. They're sleeping. It's this magical experience, and it's also a little bit nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely spent a lot of time watching that little baby belly go up and down to make sure that they're breathing.
Amen to
New
that.
parents, as you know, care passionately about monitoring babies' sleep and their safety. And so when I heard about the Miku, it's this baby monitor developed by military engineers, I was like, okay, tell me more, please.
Well, I'm going to tell you more about it because it monitors your baby's breathing, sound, and sleeping patterns with no wires or wearables. And they have an embedded chip that adds extra safety, and it reads room temp and humidity. I mean, it does it all.
Congratulations on the impressive tech and the award.
Yes, you can take a seat.
Oh wait, sorry, photo op, come back with us.
Oh, yes.
Photo op. Next award, we are moving on to the fertility and pregnancy category. The winner is Temp Drop.
Yes. So when I was trying to get pregnant, I found traditional ovulation tests and kits to be super confusing. The smiley faces, just really overwhelming. What's awesome about Temp Drop is it's a smart thermometer that you wear under your arm as you sleep, and it tracks your body's cycle without interrupting your sleep.
Yeah, and then when you wake up in the morning, all of that valuable data is just magically collected in the app, telling you the optimal time to get pregnant.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of things that you cannot control when it comes to pregnancy, and Temp Drop gives you some of that control back. So thank you, and congrats to Temp Drop.
Congrats. Photo op. Thank you so much. All right, the next category that we have is the health and safety. The winner is GeoBit. Come on down. So, do you guys remember child leashes? I think those were definitely a thing. There might still be a thing. They're a thing.
I think they're a thing.
Yeah,
Definitely a
parents
thing.
just need help keeping track of their kids. GeoBit is not a child leash. It's the first of its kind. It's a patented location tracking platform that enables you to have the real-time location of your kiddo, both indoor and out.
Yes, I feel like tracking devices are a thing that every parent really secretly wants. And I feel like this is a great alternative than handing your little one a smartphone to try to navigate in order to track them. Like, here you go. So this is a really awesome alternative. Congrats to GeoBit on this innovative award.
Congratulations. All right, the next category that we have is Play and Learn. The winner of the Babylist Best of Babytech Award goes to Woobo. Ooh, love this shirt. So the Woobo, it can answer questions, express feelings, sing songs. It can play games with your kids ages 4 and up. As a mom of 2, having a little fuzzy robot sidekick at home to like help me teach them new things and play with them sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like an amazing baby Alexa, but way cuter and with way more functionality. You can even have it set up certain activities so that when you need your child to, like, say, brush your teeth, it makes it fun for them. It's a really, really cool way to get your child interested in learning and things like that. So congrats.
Congrats. We have one more award.
Yes.
You guys ready? It's the winner of the parenting category, and the winner is the LV Pump.
So pumping may just be one of the least glamorous things we can do as moms, maybe even more than snot sucking, but I feel like the LV pump really changes that for moms.
Definitely. It is a silent, wearable breast pump. So yes, silent, as in none of those loud, like, noises during conference calls, and wearable, as in you're not attached to any dangling tubes or cords attached to a machine. You don't have to be confined to a bathroom stall or your car, and no wardrobe changes.
Like, maybe I'm wearing the LV pump right now. I'm not, but I could be.
Thank you for helping women no longer feel like cows, and congrats on the award.
Okay, so congratulations to all the Best of Babytech 2019 winners. Now, if you could please help us welcome to the stage Editor-in-Chief at Babylist, Rebecca Otto.
And let's give these two ladies a round of applause. Thank you so much, Lisa and Julie. I work in baby, and I've never been so excited about Babytech. Let's actually hand this to you. Great, perfect. So rather than just talk about how great these companies are, because you can find out about that on the internet, we also decided to take 20 minutes of their time to ask them questions about what is coming up next and what sets their products apart. So I would love it if you guys would talk to us a bit about how your product not only gives more information, but distills that information. Because one thing that we hear is that parents feel overwhelmed. They no longer have a retail store that they can go into because Babies R Us closed. And we try to solve that problem for them by creating great review videos from real parents, by producing really great best of guides. And so how do your products distill this wealth of information and make it actionable for real families?
Yeah, one thing that's what our product with Miku is that we see a lot of information from the breathing, sleeping patterns to even the temperature and humidity. But with all this kind of information, we need to simplify a lot of things within the app, but also make it easy for parents to comprehend, because you can give them this wealth of information and you're only going to have an engineer go finite into the information and think that it's truly exciting. But being able to build a UI UX that allows every parent to see it and just give them the information they really need, because you just want them to have that peace of mind.
I think that in Temtrop, one of the major things that we try to focus on is giving just one parameter that outlines the true cycle of the user and not give too many parameters. I mean, of course, you can add OPKs, ovulation prediction kits, or any other data input into the app that will calculate your fertile window. But the most important parameter, the objective and unbiased parameter, is the sleep temperature. So we focus only on that, and this allows us to show the user exactly what's going on in her body and then make her own mind what to do with it.
I think most for us is just thinking the challenges we had about this when you're tracking location and false positives, I think many of us, particularly that are monitoring things, you have to worry and make sure you're testing for those false positives. In our case, if you say a child left school and ran down the road and they're not really doing that, that can be a problem, and you lose trust of your users then. And so I think we're all sort of selling trust and peace of mind. And so for us, the challenge is just getting that right, being able to synthesize that data, putting in some machine learning to make sure we're looking for those abnormality patterns and making sure that we really address false positives. And I think as an industry, that's a challenge for all of us and something we all have to kind of deal with.
My Lyft always shows me across the street from my house when I'm waiting to pick it up, and so I can only imagine that like the number of yards in GPS is not very accurate, right?
Yeah, we use a hybrid location system to try to improve that, but about 25% of our customers are parents with special needs children. Many of them are nonverbal, and so if you have a child that elopes, that runs out of school or daycare, that can be quite worrisome. We have to get that really, really right, really, really accurate. Matter of fact, one of the leading causes of death of children with autism is drownings. We've heard some unfortunate events in the news about that. We tracked children to lakes before, so we have to get that really, really, really right.
I think for us at Uber, we want Uber to be a companion robot, to be an assistant and helper for both parents and kids. So Uber is some little fluffy companion that always propose new ideas. It's about what family activity can we have tonight. It can be a family trivia night, or maybe the dad and the little girl can have some silly dance. And also we can propose great contents, like what are the best stories and songs, so that the parents won't get lost in all kinds of choices. And even later, we want to even propose better services as kind of a media, like all the parents you need to follow the baby list media so that they always suggest the best products and services. So in that case, we can help the parents to curate the best activity, content, and information.
And at LV, we're all about better and smarter technology for women because we recognize that the female consumer has really been neglected. So that actually means in terms of information overload, I would argue the opposite. We don't have much information. So with pumping, women have never had any real-time data on pumping, so we provide real-time volume tracking. That way we can improve and personalize the pumping programs, and women can have access to meaningful data.
And so the next difficult question about data is how do you protect it? Because as soon as you're tracking your consumer, particularly if you're talking about if you know where your child is, who else knows where your child is? And so I would love for all of you to talk to me about how do you protect the data and how do you make sure that you're being completely transparent with your users about how you're protecting it?
For Miku, we actually use a military-grade crypto chip. A lot of people use software keys, just like Nest and Ring. We want to take a step further, so we put this crypto chip inside, so our hardware serial keys are on the device. We don't want to have it to our factory or anyone else to have access to it with the anti-tampering, so it's really, really almost impossible to hack our device. You never want to say nothing's unhackable, but you look at Nest and Ring, a lot of these companies are moving into that direction to have hardware protection, because that's the next step, not only just with the crypto chip, we also added two-factor authentication because it's your baby, it's your monitor, you're the one that should know it. And if anyone else takes a look or is on your device, you know by text message, in the app, but also email notification.
So with TempDrop, TempDrop is more than just a sensor, it's more of a concept. We have a complete separation between the details of the user, like their emails, their age, and so on, whatever they input into their app, and the actual physiological data that outlines the true cycle. So this platform saves the raw data anonymously, and the linking of the raw data with the user is done only through the app. We're also GDPR compliant in that sense, so the user can choose if they want to allow the app to understand her interactions with the sensor and also allow us to provide remote support to the user. But again, we maintain two different databases, one of the raw data and one of the user's details.
Like Miku, we also have a crypto chip on our product too for the exact same reason. So I won't necessarily repeat everything he said because I agree emphatically with it.
It's the future.
And so above and beyond that, we think through, what if one of these were to go out the back of the factory? We want to make sure we lock down the software so it's crypto signed. No one else can install that software on the device. We actually don't have any ports on the product, so you can't plug anything into it. That's by design. And everything can be over the air sent to it. So only software from us will be signed and crypto signed to be installed. But one extra thing that we have to think about is you can put all of this in place, but you don't have the processes in your company to protect that. If a customer calls up and pretends to be somebody else, all that's for naught. So we just have to also think through not just the tech, but as we apply it operationally in our companies, how do we build the training, the processes to make sure that all of our employees, as we all grow hopefully, can make sure that they're protecting that data, they're authorized, and that user gives them the authorization to pull it up. Because the last thing we also want to do is have an employee that goes in rogue and can just look up this information, that the user has to give them the authorization for a period of time to say, okay, you can go ahead and look at my data, but just for this period of time before it expires.
Our CTO at Babylist would be so happy to hear you say that. Like, the security training is still the only mandatory part of our on-sites because it's really important at the cultural level, and at the internal policy level too.
Yeah. So for us at Uber, we pay a lot of efforts to our customers' safety and privacy. So it's mainly two parts. The first is about high standard of ourselves. So we make sure all our data are anonymous, so we don't know who our customers are. We only know the ID. And second, we will proactively blur our information to make sure that we don't know too much details. It's only about some user behavior or maybe something we use to train the data. And we don't collaborate with any third-party like partners. So we develop our own algorithm and our own natural language processing stuff to make sure our data and our privacy won't be leaked. And the second part is about collaborate with the industry standard to make sure we are COPA certified. So we collaborate with KidSafe to make sure it's not only us, it's also our third-party friends who can have a guarantee or endorsement about what everything we do fits with the standard.
And just to add, in addition to encryption and processes, I think it's all about making it clear to the user that this data belongs to them and giving them different levels of opt-in. So with LV Pump, you can use the hardware without the app, so you don't need to share any data. Obviously, we explain the benefits of using the app, and then we give different levels in terms of opt-ins. And I think generally, for us for LV Pump and Babytech, we need to constantly be investing and working with third-party security experts so that we keep making sure we're best in class, not just for Babytech, but across all connected devices.
Just one more thing to add. I think the challenge for all of us, too, is we can do all these great things, but there's no verification. I mean, I think we're doing great things, but there really does need to be better transparency and regulations in this space, because there's a lot of nefarious people that aren't us that are trying to claim things around privacy and security, and they're just not. And there needs to be that third party that can really step in. COPA's one with KidSafe, which is great, but that only goes so far too. Someone that can really go through and say that, hey, Miku really did the security crypto chip right. And I think that's something we as an industry really need, in IoT in general too, but especially ours.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes to the responsibility of the company and a lot of the processes that you take in place. We have the head of customer service, a Ring doorbell, that put all our security in place in how we handle customers coming in, how things are handled. But you're 100% right when it comes down to the processes and places you need.
So, how do you think about the next problems, and how do you go about identifying either the new space you're going to go into or what you think is next in digital parenting?
Digital parenting, I think, is really great. Everyone on this stage is doing is innovating new products to actually bring higher awareness to their child and in the industry and the individuals themselves. I think there's a lot that can happen with different products. Ours is also doing heart rate, but we're not doing that right now. And also, again, with the responsibility of the company to actually do what it actually says it does. And I agree 100%. There's a lot of companies that claim what they're trying to do, but don't, which can kind of hurt us in the industry for us people on stage that are actually working so hard and doing day and day things to make a difference in this industry. But there's a lot of things I see all these products on the stage as well that can adapt more than just baby into other categories in elderly care and other things, which I think is really incredible. Actually, kind of random a history thing. The first video baby monitor actually was created by Isamu Noguchi back in 1937. And that actually led the way for the first two-way radio and changed the way communications is today. And I think there's a lot of things that come from Babytech that will change the world.
When talking about the future, I think the approach that Temtrop took in order to identify and really find the unique cycle of every user is that the more the woman uses Temtrop, the better it knows. So over time, the user can use the platform to incorporate her cycle data into any app, any service or any need. So it can be a medical app, it could be a fertility app, it could even be a weight loss app that provides guidance based on the different phases throughout the cycle. Now is a good time to go jogging and so on, but everything will eventually focus only on the user's data that is unique and specific for her.
For me, it's not necessarily what we're thinking about this second, but probably not too distant future. We're going to live in a world with autonomous vehicles. And when that happens...
I'm so excited to not teach my 3-year-old to drive.
I know. And this is, from a parenting perspective, this is a really interesting whole new way to think about it. You think about your child driving at 16 years old, but does that happen anymore when we have autonomous vehicles? Is there an element of, like, I trust my 12-year-old to get in the car and it just takes him to where it goes safely?
There are already Hop, Skip, Drive,
Absolutely.
Kanga, a number of rideshare apps that are trying to serve the parent market more
Exactly.
specifically.
And when I have my own car that can do this, I just think through of all the new opportunities, whether it's location tracking technology or not, but just like how does that integrate in with my parenting? What new decisions do I make? What discussions do I have with my wife now? Because it's no longer a law. Like at 16, I could say, well, maybe at 10, I don't know, maybe at 10 I let the car take him to a friend's house. It's weird.
Most states have 12 as the minimum age to leave a child alone. So if that is the bar for, will you put your 12-year-old in your, probably not Toyota, I shouldn't say Toyota, in whatever your
I
autonomous
don't know.
vehicle is?
I mean, there's reasons for that because the car, like maybe there's no one watching him, but if the car could watch them and be safe enough that it would be fine to put a 10-year-old in there because the car is smart enough, why not?
I think for us it's mainly two parts. So the first part is about vertical integration to fill in the gaps or blanks. So there's still opportunity to provide the wiki for the kids for them to better learn, for the Netflix for the kids for them to better explore the world. So there is a opportunity for fill in that gap or blank. So the second part is how can we better use technology, especially artificial intelligence and robots, to upscale our digital experience. Because that's why we talk about digital life. Previously, it's about how can we help the parents to find the best story and songs. But now it is the stage that every parent is actually a manager of this family. So how can we help them to better manage attention, or maybe emotion, or even like motivation? So that's where a social robot or emotional robot can potentially provide some help and assistance.
I think there's been a lot of exciting innovation in baby tech supporting health and wellness for babies, but where we've seen more of a gap is around the women's health and wellness. So when we launched our LV trainer, which is a Kegel biofeedback device, we were out talking to retailers, talking about new mums wellness, and they were just kind of blank faces. And now we've got the two products and there's other kind of innovations happening. I think that's really going to change because ultimately, happy mother, happy baby.
Well, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for developing such interesting and new products in the space. And we will see all of you hopefully next year back here at Babytech. Bye.
Thank you.